I start by outlining a trinket pot because it's about the same size as a cupcake and use this as my base. Then I take red devil caulking and go around my circular base to make a foundation of my faux frosting. Once I had a nice base amount of caulking, I cleaned up the sides a bit with my finger and then I set it aside to firm up a bit before I applied my next layer. After letting it sit for about an hour, it was firm to the touch, so I twisted up a bit of tissue to help act as a filler for the second layer. I cleaned up the sides again using just the cap of the caulking, and then I set it aside to dry. Then I outline a few circles onto the sponge that I want to act as the bottom portion of the cupcake that will be inside the baking cup. And I thought I would need two, but it turns out only one of the sponges was needed to actually fill out the baking cup. Then I used the lid from a spray paint can and some spackling to get started on making a faux cake. Once the lid was sufficiently covered with the spackle, I set it aside to dry so that I can move on to the next dessert I wanted to attempt. For this faux dessert, I'm just using the dry floral foam found at DollarTree and just cutting it with a pair of scissors and then painting with chocolate sprinkle apple barrel paint. Okay, while my chocolate cake dries, my cupcake cream has now dried completely, and I want to add these gemstone stickers as sparkly sprinkles on top. And additionally, I want to paint the sides of the cupcake that might be showing underneath the cream this chocolate sprinkle color to look like it's chocolate cake on the bottom. Then I put all my pieces of my faux cupcake together and hot glued them into the baking cup once the brown paint was dry on the side of the cream. And now that my chocolate cake is totally dried, I can move on to adding my topping, which I want to use a bit of holly berry to look like a mound of raspberries on top of a chocolate layer cake. took almost 24 hours, but the spackle completely dried, and I wanted to use this red puff paint to look like a strawberry sauce on top in a zigzag pattern. And while the puff paint dried, I wanted to make a candy apple, so I'm just using a faux apple I found at DollarTree and some Lollipop sticks, and just pull the stem out and then add a bit of chocolate, sprinkle apple barrel paint to look like drizzled chocolate on top of the candy apple. And I wanted to finish off this white layer cake with a bit of berry garnish around the bottom, and I thought a doily on the bottom would look really nice. And here are all my desserts all finished. I'm very happy with the way they all look. I did make another white cake and a few more cupcakes, another with sprinkles and one without, and I think they all look delicious.